let us have another question that can be dealt with by application of the alignment principle. So let me read the question. The investigator should avoid asking witnesses long, complicated questions because this will. So the portion of that question is being cut, and obviously the question would like to get an ideal continuation of that cut portion. So let us look for the keywords. So we have here avoid long, complicated questions. So the question would like to get the reason why the investigator should avoid asking long, complicated questions. So when we say avoid, it can also be understood as not. Therefore, our question is a negative question. Per our principle in alignment, if the question is negative, the answer should also be negative. So, we have to look for negative statement from the choices. So let us first consider letter A. Give the witness a chance to formulate desired answers. Is there a word signifying that the statement is negative? There is none. That is a positive statement. Therefore, it will not align with the question that is a negative question. It's wrong. Enable him to ascertain the purpose of interview. Is there any word that signifies that the statement is negative? There is also none. That is a positive question. Also wrong because it will not align with the question. So we'll now proceed to letter C and letter D. Render difficulty in obtaining the facts for conviction. If you analyze the word difficulty, that is not entirely negative. That could be partly negative. But for purposes of discussing it with another possible negative choice, just for purposes of comparison, let us just consider this one as negative. So, possible correct answer. Let us go to letter D. Embarrass him and cause him to answer he does not know. The word embarrass is a negative word. Why? Because that will subject a person to certain form of irritation, certain form of shame. And we also have another purely negative word that is not. So possible correct answer. So let us compare letter C and letter D by trying to continue that cut portion of the question. So the investigator should avoid asking witnesses long, complicated questions because this will, let us try letter C, render difficulty in obtaining the facts for conviction. It's very unclear. So remember, the very reason here for not asking long, complicated questions to the witness, we are talking of witness. Why would we not ask that type of question? And in letter C, it talks of obtaining the facts for conviction. Obtaining facts for conviction is not necessarily coming from witnesses. it may come also to possibly documentary evidence, or it could be coming from physical evidence. So not necessarily coming from the witness. So in other words, this talks of broader concept when we say facts of or facts for conviction. Whereas in the question, it specifically talks of an evidence coming from a witness. So why we do not ask a question that is long and complicated. Therefore, I should say that letter C is wrong. Why do we answer letter D? Why do we say that letter D is our answer? Because if you will ask long, complicated questions to the witnesses, remember, the very thought of the question is the reason why we do not ask that question to the witness. And if you look at letter D, it talks of him, that addresses the witness. We have the word him. Now, if we try to connect this particular choice with the question, this will embarrass him. Yes, true enough. If you will ask long, complicated questions to the witness, that will necessarily cause him embarrassment, because he may think that the investigator asking him question which to him is very difficult to understand because it is long and complicated. You would think that the investigator may subject him to some sort of judgmental reaction or failure to understand the question. That is why it will embarrass him. And another thing, there is a possibility that it will cause him to answer things he does not know. After all, he cannot understand the question being long and complicated. That is why the answer is letter D, because it will embarrass him and cause him to answer he does not know.